Hey everyone, I'm Nod Vorro and welcome to Best or Worst Video Game Ever. It's a review series where I'm going to definitively tell you if a video game is the best or worst game of all time. We do not fence it here, we do not give 7 out of 10s, and we don't say wait for sale. So stick around if you want to find out if Spider-Man 2 is the best game ever. With that out the way, play the overly intense intro and let's get to it. The way this works is I'm going to go through some of the good points and the bad points I've found during my playthrough of Spider-Man 2, and then at the end we'll be able to see if this is the best or the worst game of all time. So let's start, shall we? The absolute first thing I had to mention, because it's the first thing I noticed when I started playing, is Peter Parker's ridiculous face in this game. They turned the character model from the first game into this weird Temu version of Tom Holland. And I know they changed the model when they released the remastered version of the first game, and it had something to do with the mocap actor better suiting the voice actor of Peter, who's Yuri Lowenthal. But I just can't help think that his face just looks ridiculous and weird in it. I'm also going to add a second point to the worst game ever section of this, because his neck length throughout the game, it just constantly changes and it always looks stupidly long. There's a scene about 2/3 into the game where Peter goes to save MJ from Harry, who's now at this stage being overtaken by the Venom symbiote. And while Harry's monologuing like an absolute psycho, he picks up a photo frame of Peter and May, and holy lord does Peter's neck look too long. From that first one, I hope you weren't looking for a serious review, because these next 2 points on the negative are really going to piss you off. Just listen to these yells that both MJ and Norman do throughout the game and tell me it doesn't deserve worst game ever points.
MJ! Ah!
See? I rest my case. By now you can see there's absolutely no order to any of this, and the first points on the board I'm going to put in for the best game ever are going to be for the boss fights throughout this game and the emotional speeches which come with them. Spider-Man 2 starts off with an absolute bang and puts us up against Sandman in the middle of the city, and from there they only get better, because then we have Spider-Man vs. the Lizard, Spider-Man vs. Mr. Negative, Spider-Man vs. Craven, Spider-Man vs. fucking Spider-Man, Venom vs. Craven, Spider-Man vs. MJ, what the shit is going on here? And then we have Spider-Man vs. Venom. And each of these boss fights on its own deserves a point. Now the reason these fights are so good is that every character seems to have history with each other, and it's not just a physical back and forth between them, but also the emotional speeches these characters dish out while absolutely wailing on the other party. This is highlighted best during the fight between Miles and Mr. Negative, where Mr. Negative is using a projection of Miles' dad to try force Miles into a mental submission of sorts, when all of a sudden Miles breaks out of all the self-doubt he's feeling and he starts giving one of the best emotional speeches this game has, whilst the Spider-Man OST score from John Pisano swells up. Do 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 do. Yeah, I'm tone deaf as shit, but just have a listen to this.
You're done, Lee. I'm not doing this anymore. You wanna know who I am? I'm the kid whose dad you killed at City Hall.
What?
He died because you decided your problems were more important than all of those people's lives. Jefferson Davis was a hero who saved people from you.
Now this boss fight is the absolute king of the emotional speeches whilst dramatic music plays, and I'm not going to talk over it because my voice is annoying, but just have a listen and tell me this isn't the best game of all time.
You came over every single day after school! Even slept over after your mom got sick!
We couldn't feel like that.
When you lost her, that day on the football field, I was there! Always have been!
Until we got sick again. You abandoned us while we were fighting for our lives.
I was trying to save you!
We know what's best for you, for everyone. We gave you everything you ever wanted, and you threw us away.
I should have been better. I'm so sorry.
Then you replaced us with Miles. We poisoned you against us even more.
No! He saved me! Just like I'll save you!
We've never been good enough for you or Dad.
It's messing with your head, Harry! You're my best friend!
Then why don't you trust us?
I trust you, Harry! Not that thing you're wearing!
We are not a thing.
And now I've got to kill the momentum of all the positives for a little bit here and address this absolute ridiculous mission where Miles enters Mysterio's weird fucking fair attraction for a moment because for some stupid reason he goes in without hesitation and then he randomly turns into a member of Daft Punk while we enter the Tron universe. And then if that wasn't weird enough, for some reason a part of this mission, it goes for about 3 minutes, we turn it into a music rhythm game, which is not what anyone asked for when buying a Spider-Man game, and we just have to put up with it. And what pisses me off more about this is that the song you play when you're Miles is actually very catchy and it got stuck in my head all night.
Here it comes, y'all. Let's go! All right, let's break this down.
Just like the Daft Punk mission, I think this game has some very, very odd choices for mission design, which I don't think holds up at all. And there's a few different types of missions that I take issue with in this game, and each of them is going to accrue a negative point each. The first type of mission they load up a bit at the start of the game, but it also continues right to the end. And it's where you think you're progressing the story, but it's just a way to set up more open world collectathons. These come in waves, from Mysterio's bullshit machine that's broken, Sandman pieces you have to collect around the city, symbiote nests that you have to clear out, and there's just so many more. It's nothing but filler and they try to sneak them in the main quest. Then the next is the MJ missions. Now they definitely made them a lot more palatable than in the first game, but for the love of God, no one wants to play as MJ in a Spider-Man game. Stop doing it. It takes you out of the game and it really just isn't that fun. Now the last point I want to make on this is more so just the repetitive nature of all the missions in this game. Other than the odd one or two, most of these missions have you go to a place, beat up dozens of regulation enemies and then just continue on. And now whilst the gameplay is fun, it's definitely not the most inspired gameplay of all time and can wear thin towards the end of the game. And now I'm immediately going to contradict myself because there's no consistency in these videos and there's one mission that deserves the best game ever point. And this is a mission where you get to play as Venom and absolutely destroy Oscorp Lab and start killing all the Oscorp guards, and it will go down as one of the best missions I've played in this generation of video games. The sheer change up from all the formulaic missions you've played up until this point is exceptional, and all of this ends with a fight against Kraven where you just bite the dude's head off. Absolutely phenomenal, and it's something I've always wanted to play since I played Spider-Man on the PS1. And while the Venom symbiote absolutely brings the carnage in that scene, it also brings another point to our worst game ever tally. As it turns Peter into an intolerable arsehole for a good portion of this game. Now this version of Peter has to hands down be the most irritating he's ever been, and it's even worse than that Spider-Man 3 scene where he's walking down the street like he's top shit, he's pointing at girls, he's got the emo hairstyle. But not only does this version of Peter bitch and moan to himself for what feels like 5 minutes.
Not now, MJ! Is Spider-Man doing more harm than good? How about now? Now who needs the old Spider-Man? What's so great about the new Spider-Man anyway? He can't even stop some hunters. They destroyed the EMF. Destroyed my life. I'm going to lose May's house because of them and... Kraven.
He also randomly just starts ripping into Harry, his best mate, for trying to save his own life by taking medicine because he's severely ill.
Why don't you pop some more pills and say what you really feel?
This fucking guy, man. Now, a positive point I want to bring up for this game is the way that Peter and Miles get around New York and it just being so smooth. Now, it's different to the first game because they give you web wings, which keeps you propelling forward, and combining them with the web swinging is absolutely phenomenal. It's definitely worth getting this game just for these traversal mechanics alone. Now I'm going to completely discredit myself because I played this game on PC with an Xbox controller, which I know is absolutely disgusting. However, I'm going to dock the game a point for this for even allowing me to play this way. However, because that would be completely unfair, I'm also going to give it a point in the best game ever to balance that out, because I don't believe Spider-Man 2 should be punished for me not having a PS5. And there you have it, that's our quickfire, not so serious review of Spider-Man 2. We're having a look at our final score sheet. I can definitely say, without a doubt, that this is the best game of all time and you should play it immediately. Whether it be on a PS5, PC, or whatever the shit you can get it on. Thank you all so much for watching. Please make sure to check out the Too Long Didn't Play full game recap on the channel, which is a lot more coherent and a lot better done than this, and subscribe to the channel for more. On that note, I've been Nod Vorro, this has been best or worst game ever, and you've been great.